we had a podcast showdown with the folks over at DCP, and even though we ended up losing in one of the craziest tiebreakers ever, I had such a damn good time. It was so much fun. Everyone was going crazy. The Twitch chats were lit. We were all laughing with each other. The shoutcasting was great. And
Fantastic,
we raised a goddamn ton of money for the kids.
And
so much money.
Just a small amount, just a small
amount.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what? It's weird because we really didn't even have much of a goal. Like the day before the showdown went live, Broman is like, do you guys have a donation goal?
And
we're like, 10,000. Let's just throw a number out there.
Threw it out there.
Yeah. We had no real expectation.
Yeah.
And we doubled that.
Fantastic.
We blew way past that. Like it never ceases to amaze me how incredible the Destiny community is.
It was it ended up at like 18K, right?
Yeah, it was about a little over 18,000, I want to say.
Yeah.
Nuts. Wow.
I think they were waiting for more e-checks to come in or whatever, because
I don't know.
there's a little bit of a delay. But yeah, I was talking to my dad on the phone today, who's a wonderful guy, and he's a big supporter of all the crazy video game shenanigans that I do.
Yeah.
So I called him up, and he was like, "Oh, hey, tell me about the Destiny thing. Is Destiny 2 out yet?" No, Dad, not yet.
Is Destiny, even
And
your
so
dad, your dad is like, did they announce
sequel?
Destiny 2 yet? Bungie, fix your
I know.
game.
I'm like, come on, Dad, I get enough of this
Is it
shit during
E3?
the week, man. So I'm like, no, Dad, but we did this cool thing, it was like a fun team versus team thing with these two podcasts. It was like this big fundraiser for the kids. And he was like, oh, that's great. Did you, raise a lot of money, $100, $200 or something? I was like, we raised almost $18,000. He's like, you did what?
Yeah.
What? I was like, yeah. Yeah.
I walked downstairs and told my roommate, and he kind of like choked on his orange juice, and he's just like, what? I have no idea what I was talking about. It's like, yeah, we just did like 18,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, same here. I took my parents out for dinner.
Aw.
After the podcast thing yesterday,
guy.
and they were like, "Oh, so I told them I was doing a thing." When I called them up,
thing.
and they were like, "Oh, so how did your thing go? And like, did you raise some money?" And I was like, "Did we?" So I dropped that 18K on them, and they were like, "Wow, what were you guys doing? Like a radio show?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's kind of like a radio show."
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Absolutely.
People
playing
still
video
play that
games.
game? People still play that game?
Yeah.
Deadstiny.
Yes,
That's what his parents said. Oh, 18K for that game? What?
You're
The
still
parents
it's been 3
complain more
years.
than the community. The parents are like, "Oh, you're playing that game? I heard it's been X days since the weapon update." Like, Mom, will
Yeah.
you
I heard
cut
it's
some
been so
bullshit
stale.
out?
As a matter of fact, the first thing my mom said was buff primaries.
That's what she said. Before even
she
hugging
said.
you.
I think you're fibbing, Link. She must have said, "Where's Teft?"
Yeah.
That's what she really said.
No,
You
'cause we
got into
answered
the
that
car.
question. You
Where
listen,
is-
chat. You can't ask that anymore. We answered the question. We found Teft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We found him.
So do we
We
want to
found
go
him.
through the silliness and the fun that was the showdown? Like a quick little 30,000-foot view?
Yeah, there's quite a
Yes.
every round was insanely different and
Oh, yeah.
fun and
Yeah.
played out quite dramatically in many of the rounds. Yeah, we started with Clash on Rusted Lands.
Yep.
And
Lost that by what, like 5 points?
5 points.
Oh,
yes.
my
That
gosh.
is the
Well, it
match that
started
is going to
off-
haunt me for the rest of my life. Is that
Well,
match.
We should have won
Yeah.
it. We should-
Yeah.
If anyone
Look,
was
I don't know.
recording, I was playing on the Planet Destiny Twitch channel, and so we started the Clash match, and I think for the first half of the game, I want to say, maybe a little bit more, first like 3/4 of the game, we were behind. Because our whole strategy was to get the momentum going with a little bit of a super chain, a little bit of Blessing of Light, little storm trance action.
Oh, yeah.
And then once we got the momentum going, we really started to steamroll. And then it was neck and neck. And then maybe the last minute, we took the lead.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, just hold this. Just
As
hold
soon
this.
as we took the lead, the first thing I heard you're in the lead, and then followed music to my ears. Like, he was so stressed, I could hear
And
it.
Yeah.
and they're pushing me in A, and I throw a Nova Bomb down for the double kill, and then I was chased around the corner to get killed. I was like, that's okay. It's a 2v1
was
trade.
a,
I'll take that. And I respawn up, and I'm like, just chill. It's literally maybe 10 seconds left on the
Yeah,
clock.
10 seconds
Oh,
left,
yeah.
we were still in the lead.
I was like,
And-
just chill. Let's play the clock. And then
Yeah.
at the very end, I think I heard somebody like, yeah, because it was literally we were in the lead
yeah.
up until the score up until the time
Like,
ran out.
right
And then it
when
was
the
just
game
like,
ended.
hey,
Yes.
they won. If you watched me on Twitch, I was like,
it was like a trade because I almost took out 2 and like 2 people died and I died and I sort of thought like, well, that should do it, right? And I don't think anyone knew who won or who lost until we could actually read the score when it came up. It was crazy.
literally
But
literally the whole last minute when we were in the lead. I had like died right before it, and I just as soon as I spawned, I was like, nope, I'm just staying in the back. We're in the lead. I just
Beach.
stayed back by the freaking water tower. Like, I'm not moving out.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be the one. Ugh.
It was nuts because we were at a deficit for a while. Like we
Yeah.
came when we started that match. A few seconds into it, Holtzman's just like boom headshot.
Yep.
And I'm just thinking to myself, oh god. And
I was like, this is not how we practice. This was not supposed
This
to
is
happen.
not how this was supposed to go. Pat, what are you doing? You're supposed to be using a matador. But
don't you know? Don't you know?
Don't you know the meta, man? What you
Yeah.
come on.
What is this sniping?
I called my
But-
mom and she's like, "Were you using Clever Dragon? You fucking try hard."
Yes. But once we got our steamroll going, we got things going. We were popping off our supers in tandem. We were getting those combo plays where you guys were building off of the blessings and moving in. And when we finally took that lead, it was just such a clutch moment to take it down into the last 10 seconds of the game. And congrats. I don't even know who died and how they died, but for them to take it back literally
It was
in
big-
the last
it was
second
big
of the
plays,
game.
yeah.
like the last 2 seconds.
Holtzman said
was
that
nuts.
Tefty got a kill and he got an assist on it, and that's what pushed
That's
them
what it
to
was.
the edge.
It was
was
the assist.
See,
Yep.
assists,
Well
it's
played,
valuable.
champions.
hey,
Damn
very
it.
valuable.
remember at
shots.
home, team shots are important.
Yeah.
Yep, they win.
Yeah.
They win, especially
So, okay.
in big matches like that
So
when you get
we-
more than
Yep.
3 people.
We eventually shook off the sadness
Yes.
of a
We
very
shoulda had
large
that
loss.
match.
That's okay. So we're like, and then next up was
The
Sword
sword
Hilts.
Yes.
Sword Hilts only,
Which
of course-
was my time to shine. I gotta say.
And
All
you
right?
did.
I did.
Like, you were a freaking sun in that match.
That was
Mega was just like,
hilarious.
You guys are always doing sweats. I've actually
Hold
been
my
practicing sword hilts since
Doing
swords
sword
came out. I was in there, doubles, triples, just feeling it.
And that was crazy because we were going back and forth, and it's like,
yeah.
I don't know, something out of like a war movie, like Gladiator.
It was-
Russell Crowe. You got the,
Yeah.
the barbarians and the Romans.
Yeah.
Yeah. Clash in the center, and absolutely bananas.
Well, it was hilarious because it was on Anomaly, and we
my God.
basically moved in 2 packs.
Yep.
And DCP was up
Yep.
on the rotating platform, and they would all rotate.
would
And
love
then, like, the 5 of
watching
us
us.
were, like, crouch walking
Yeah.
down the hall, like, through the caves, and you'd, like, see us go through a door, and then they'd go around the side. And it was just, like, the silliest thing.
A scene
And there was
out of
only, like,
300.
4 big trades throughout the entire thing because you couldn't, you can't, like, solo
Nobody wanted to be
someone.
the one who
Yeah.
pressed and lost. the
Yeah.
advantage.
I just love the
Yeah.
spinning thing in the middle of the. They were like a rotisserie chicken, just spinning around, waving.
Just getting cooked. Meanwhile, we're sitting there like, Spartans, hilts at the ready.
Yeah.
Put blink
they
on.
were
Put
they
blink
were
on.
really they were playing pretty strategically on that though. They kept trying to like bait us all in one direction while they like they would put one
They
guy out on
flanked,
his own
yeah.
and then flank us with the other 4. Yeah, but it was pretty great, and we were winning. Then they made a comeback. They got the edge, and it was could go either way. But then there was the huge donation.
Moment.
Yeah, and that a
stopped.
$10,000
Yeah.
donation.
10K.
Someone
dropped.
dove into our Discord chat and they were
Yeah.
like, "You have to stop. We have to come into the thing." There was like a big donation, 10,000. And I just remember being like, "Come on!" Like they took the lead back, and there's time on the clock, and this is the time when we need to make a comeback. Did you just say
Yeah.
$10,000?
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, we went into the thing. And I was like, "Dude, there's a $10,000. What a champion!
Yeah.
What a legend to donate that kind of money." To
Yeah.
a chill. That's just
Yeah.
I can't even wrap my head
Ridiculous.
around it.
We're in the middle
Yeah.
of the second match of this thing, in
Yeah.
the goofiest match you could possibly
Yes.
have with sword hilts. And suddenly, I think Shar just pops into our chat and he's like,
Yeah.
"Yo, stop the match, head to mid." And I'm like, "What?" And I
What
see
happened?
them all standing on B, so I jump
Yeah.
into their I jump over into their chat, and all I hear is $10,000 donations. So I'm like, what do you mean? Rush into mid, pop in a bubble, and we just turned it into a dance party because we got a $10,000 donation on stream
Yep.
for a children's fund. Just
I can't believe it.
blew my mind. I can't believe how generous this community can be sometimes. It was an incredible moment. It's probably my favorite moment of the stream.
Yeah,
because we're already in the middle of this goofy match, and then that happens, and we turn it into from a hilt tilt into a Destiny dance off. Everybody's dabbing on B and Anomaly. It was
No, my favorite moment of it was at the last second of the match when Fallout Nova'd the whole team.
I'm so glad
technically
that
we were in the
somebody
lead
noticed
because he can't have his sword hilt elo go down. That's how I felt.
That blew everybody away.
Yeah.
Hey, somebody killed me. I think Holtzman killed me with an incendiary nade.
Yeah, that was when we
I was
paused.
like,
They threw a grenade
you know
at
what?
us.
Time to embrace
You
the
know
void.
what?
Yeah.
in the middle of the bubble. It was beautiful. It was
So
just
that-
a beautiful
yeah,
moment.
it was fun. So then after that was...
We called that one a tie because of the shenanigans, because of all the
Which-
craziness, right?
What was after Sword Hilts?
Supremacy.
Supremacy, yeah.
Yeah.
Our time to shine.
And
we dominated that one.
Oh, we rolled
we
hard. in
gave
Supremacy,
hands
dude.
on Supremacy.
Rolled hard in that Supremacy, man.
Yeah.
Because they were
Cauldron.
playing... They were
Cauldron,
kind of
baby.
playing medium to long range. You know what I mean? And they were doing pretty good in the kill department. But if you can't go in to get the crest, then like, what's the point?
And, you know, picking up your crest, even though I think they reduced the amount of super energy that picking up crest gives you, still, if you're constantly doing it with the strategy that we were running, once we got our supers in tandem, we just steamrolled it.
That
Like,
train
we went from like,
did not slow down.
Yeah.
went from like a 2 to 3 crest lead to like a 15 to 20.
Yeah, they had us for a bit, but then once like our supers kicked in and we had them chained, like we
fantastic.
started to pull up on them. Yeah.
So we took that one.
Yes.
Yeah,
Pretty-
and we got it on our map on
pretty
Cauldron,
smooth.
which
Yeah.
went well. I liked
Yeah,
it.
yes, I did. I enjoyed.
So-
That's a fond moment, a victory for us. It's a fond memory.
Agreed. And then, after that was SRL. Oh, that was good.
Was that a match? It
Yeah.
seemed like it was just,
was
you know,
a
3 members of
massacre.
Planet Destiny having a leisurely ride.
Brush the dust off. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I thought that DCP was gonna come to play. I thought they were gonna play to win, and they're fucking ragging on me because they're like, "Oh, yo, Fallout tryhard getting on his friend's account." I was like, "Do you know me? Do you know who I am?"
What he do?
I
the
didn't
hate train.
expect to do well either, but I was right behind you for most of that
Dude,
too.
you were on my
were.
radar
You were.
the entire. I was like, "Who the fuck is this?" Exactly, Bones. Like, I wasn't.
Sniffing your tail side there.
Yeah.
yeah.
I didn't talk through the whole. I was just.
No,
know, right?
you were
That's
you were
what-
so locked in during the whole race. It was hilarious.
I love it.
I was
Like,
I
I-
was streaming from Crucible Radio, and my chat was just like, "So this is the most intense moment of the entire game," because I was just like,
The
So
battle
many-
between Fallout and Bones. Like, I think
I wasn't
Scott
trying
and
to
I...
beat Fallout. I actually paused. I like slowed down and let up the gas a little bit because I didn't want to bump him on a gate, and I wanted to just be like, "All right, I'm the thing to get past."
Yes.
So
Yeah,
someone
there you go.
sneaks
The
up on
buffer
me,
zone.
and like it almost happened. Teft came up on me really fast at one point, and then I don't know. I just sort of like narrowly avoided him, and he kind of hit a wall. That was very scary, but that was awesome. And then Story over here sneaking into third place, giving us the sweep in the.
I
in the
still
SRL
don't
round.
understand it. I was in front of you.
I can
yeah,
I
and
can
the
explain it
qualifiers.
for
He
you.
got shafted in the qualifier.
I can
And then,
explain it for
I
you.
slide into third, and the game's like, nah, man, you're in fourth.
I can,
What?
yeah, I can explain the whole thing for you.
Please do.
400 ping I had. That's how. I was the teleporter of teleporters. I was like
Even
Houdini.
internet, bro.
I had my special blink
All right.
on. So there you
Yeah.
go.
Like, I was watching my chat at that moment, and like the moment I pulled through, everybody in chat's like, "Congrats on hitting third, TB."
yeah.
What?
What?
What happened? You were clearly ahead of
As
him, and then
soon
like
as-
you
Sorry.
missed by a few milliseconds.
That was funny the way you reacted to that. But as soon as they picked, because the shoutcasters picked the map,
Yes.
and Infinite Descent is my best.
Yeah.
I knew we had
It was
it.
a bad move
And
picking
then
that
they
one
were like,
for
"Let's
you,
pick
wasn't
Infinite
it?
Descent," and I was
Yeah.
like, "It's over." I was
Yeah.
like, "Why even bother?"
Yeah.
And
They
Holtzman
handed
was
us
like,
that one.
Holtzman was inspecting my gear, and he was like, "Oh, that's like he's using. Does he not know? Does he not know?" And I'm like, "I know that the Raid Sparrow is the fastest. It's high risk, high reward. We're doing a race. I'm not trying to get a record time. I'm using the Red Bull Sparrow." And he was like, "Oh shit, okay." and then at the beginning of the race, Story and I were kind of like bumping each other like a wee bit
Yep.
up until the first turn when you go inside in that tunnel, and there's that
Yeah.
arch, the rock arch. And then I like hooked the turn and went ahead, and I was no one came within like 20.
I tapped the
feet.
brakes as well.
I
thought-
saw.
when
I was watching Story just breaks a little bit. He's like, no, it's not.
Yeah,
messing with the flow.
I'm not missing up our
Like-
chance here, so I'm slowing down. He's going ahead. Like,
Yeah. So when that race started, Mega and I both swapped over to your stream, and we started streaming you live racing, and we were just watching your face do this. And as Story's bumping you, we saw your face go from to.
Yeah, you did the slightest, like, you son of a bitch, you touched me.
It was the most. It was
The
scariest.
You get in the moment, like you don't
sweatiest
think about
face.
it, and like
Yes.
Like
everyone's just
Fallout.
trying to do the best they can.
You gave the Story. I am going to kill you. Stop. Face, and then Story just like kind of.
Story's like, oh, yeah.
I'm the mama bear. SRL is my baby bear, and you don't get between the mama bear and the baby bear. But it's
All I gotta say is I didn't make it through the qualifiers for our team, but I really think, if it had been on Xbox and I had my own Sparrow and any good gear for racing, it might have been a different story. All right, I didn't have that. I'm the only one who can't roll up on a Swift River. I got no chance at keeping up. All right, that's all I'm saying. You have
Sorry,
a statistical advantage.
Well, we'll have to decide. We'll have to see if that's the case sometime.
No. I mean, I have no doubt that Fallout and Bones would still have beaten me, but I was like, the three others, the people who I didn't expect to win the race, Story, Link, and me, in the qualifier were like all within a second of each other at the end.
No,
so
it was
I
all
feel
good.
like I could have at least made it to the dream team, the squad.
next time.
It was actually really fun with you guys doing sort of like your own commentary.
Yes.
It was kind of like nice chatter to keep me like a second or like a tad bit less stressed. Not that I was that stressed
There
about
you
the
go.
SRL
Chatter.
portion, but
We
it
were
was kind of
showering
nice.
you with
Yeah.
praise.
It just kind of like let me fall into the zone, and I just
It
sort of
was
like
Bones, you can call me anytime you're
Smooth
playing,
ride.
and I'll just talk in your ear. All right,
Yeah.
keep
Look,
it
set the
dude.
phone down on my desk and put it on speaker.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
my tummy hurts.
I will
I'm trying to
just-
go to bed. Just talk.
Yeah, I'll narrate compliments to go with you guys' lives anytime.
Just
There it
you,
is.
it's just you two talking about wrestling, and then we'll just leave it off to the
Yeah.
side playing and
I can do that.
drift off to sleep.
Speaking of,
So that was SRL, and that was fun
What's SRL?
Yeah.
for me. And next was Control. Ooh, that was a good one.
yes.
That
they-
was a good one.
They picked Asylum, which I think is a great control map. I know a lot of people don't care for it. I really enjoy it for a
tough.
control map. I think it's very straightforward. You got the two territories on either spawn side. You got B up by the middle top stair. And, man, that was a really close game. They had the lead,
Was,
I
yeah.
want to say, for like 50% of the game. And then
Yeah.
again, once we got... They did a good job adapting. They did a really
did.
good
Yeah.
job adapting, because at that point in the series, we were up. We had declared the sword hilt game a tie, because it was like score was really close. We cut it short because of the massive goddamn donation, which was great.
Yeah, we had an issue before in it too, where like Tef got kicked out, so we were like
Yeah,
a lot
yeah.
of shenanigans. Just
stop.
call it a
Yeah.
tie.
So they had won Clash. We had won Supremacy and SRL, so we were up 2-1. And if we had won here, it would have been Dunzo. So
Would have been the end, yeah.
yeah, so they were up, and then we started to get that momentum. But they again had adapted. They picked up Bubble Titans because
yes.
we had been using it to great effect.
That was
They
maybe my
co-opted our strat,
favorite
yeah.
moment of the day was I think it was Trav giving us a little bit of trash talk about our lineup for the day,
Yeah.
saying we had been using the same strat,
Yeah.
and our strat was particularly powerful, and we got some guff for that,
Some
and then
salts.
we drop into
Yeah.
Control, and look who switched to two Bubble Titans, but
Both of their
DCP.
Titans
Yeah.
magically switched to Bubble.
Oh, and suddenly
It's all fun and games until you play to win, isn't it, boys and girls? But yeah, so they did a good job adapting because, again, great strategy on fucking paper, and especially in Control, the effectiveness of the bubble. You can't,
Yeah.
you just can't ignore the power. So they picked it up.
I honestly
And-
like that. I want to talk a little bit about the bubble,
sure.
what we did all day.
Yes.
Talk about it,
I've
buddy.
talked
Talk
about
about
this
it.
on Crucible Radio, and there's people who just dislike it, especially in fours, because in fours it's hella powerful. You get
Yeah.
one storm on your team, cleans up the rest of the team. So what happens is bubble charges the fastest. If you got the perk set up, that's the fastest super on the board. So you get that bubble, pop it immediately, drop 2 orbs, hopefully a Stormcaller with Electrostatic Mind is right about there on a super. As soon as he gets a super, you pop that and you push out with Blessing of Light. So you've got extra armor in your super, and you just try to kill as many people, and everyone pushes out. So it's basically like, it's like a little bit of an overcharge for everyone to just make pushes. And that is really exciting. And I really like watching it. I know it's really tough to counter, especially in the 4v4 tournament level play. I mean, I don't think that's where we were yesterday. There's quite a, great players on the board, but it's a different story. I like it though, because it has those like plays moments. It's not just a single body flying at B for half of the match. Like one person get a kill, next person get a kill, and then that's how every control game goes in pubs and stuff like that. I love the bubble strat because you got to work together, and it doesn't work if you're not popping it for everyone to get those orbs. If you're on your own and you just give it and you're like, I didn't give anyone orbs or blessing, it doesn't work. So it's really fun to watch the team sort of like move in packs, gather together, go take a zone here while the other team has to either attack it or back off. I thought it made for a really fun game.
I think I want to, as for the strat, I want to say I think it was a particularly great move for us to sort of deal with weaker links on the team, so to speak, to still have to still have a role, like people like me who are not. I'm not good at this game. I'm not good at killing mans, but it still provides me with something I can do as a support player.
Well, we always say that maybe Sunsingers and Defenders are the support classes, which in Destiny is not as true. It's not quite Overwatch level of support.
No.
Yeah.
But in this case, and with this style and loadout, you really kind of are. For the first time, you're saying like, it's my job to give orbs and give blessing, and that's I like that. It gives people roles and stuff, and as opposed to everyone use the same gun and try to kill as many people as you can. Just do that. Go.
And as the other Defender Titan on the team, it was a really interesting experience. I don't generally play Defender. Generally in the Crucible, I play Stormcaller. So it was a lot to, over the past couple of weeks when we've been trying to get prepared for this, it was a lot to get used to. And I found myself trying to play the support role and staying back when usually I'm first in the fight right up in people's faces. And it was really hard to control my urges to want to skate forward and just get into the middle of battle and be like, oh, wait, no, I have a bubble. I need to stay way back there, pop it so that they can get their stuff and move in. So, overall, it was a really good experience. And with them picking Asylum, I thought that was a really interesting choice, a dangerous one, because that's such a close range map. You can really get screwed by a Stormcaller with a blessing buff, with a blessing buff on them. So with the way they handled that by splitting their team up appropriately and dropping, there were points in the match where they were dropping double bubble on both C and B. And like double capping from us. I was like, bravo.
And one of our bubbles would drop on top of theirs, and it would
whose
bubble was me? Which bubble is
that?
this?
Was me dropping double bubble. And it was a really interesting match.
And big credit to Link and Mega, who did run bubble. And there's very few bubble mains out there in the world, and it's a tough subclass because the neutral game is not great. Suppressors can be really fun. They can have some really good moments, but they're not a instant kill grenade like many are. And the melee doesn't do that extra damage. If you have the charge, you get the shield, great, but you have to have them pretty weak before the melee kills. So it's a really tough neutral game. So that's a tough class to play. You guys played it really well.
I don't main it at all, but I was happy to get, like, I think on the Supremacy match, I got like 3 suppressions out of supers.
And I was like, yes, my boy. Yeah.
And then they had the lead in that for a long time. We did make a comeback, and then in the last 2 minutes they retook control. And didn't give it up, and they took that.
No.
So now it's according. It's 2-2. So everything was going according to the script that Pope Bear had sent us the day before.
Yeah.
So it was going great.
We play by the script.
And everyone was super like, oh god, it's so intense. Because the matches were just crazy close the whole time. And they were like, oh, how about we do this for a tiebreaker? We do 5v5 elimination. And as soon as they brought that up, I was like, we're in fucking trouble.
Yep. But we didn't practice this.
Because we didn't practice. I do trials carries, but you can ask Bones. I hate elimination. I don't like elimination at all. I fucking hate it.
Yeah.
Even though I do trials carries, but I don't like it. So they were like, yeah, let's do that. I was like, yeah, sure.
I was literally thinking on Friday night when we were doing a little practice and stuff, and I was trying to I was looking at the schedule. I was like, okay, what game modes are we playing? And I was like,
Yeah.
I'm glad trials didn't sneak its way in here somehow, and I think it was immediately eliminated because it was obviously a 5v5, and we're like, yeah, no. But I just really didn't want that to happen, and I was happy that it wasn't. And then it was good that we had something different to do for the tiebreaker. But yeah,
because we didn't expect it was just supposed to be 5 games. We didn't expect that we were going to end one game preemptively in a tie.
Yeah.
Because of a fucking $10,000 donation.
Oh.
So
Again,
it was
madness.
totally. We were like, what should we do? It was like, 5v5 elimination. I was like, all right.
No.
What
And,
map?
you know,
What
I
map
mean-
are we gonna pick? Bannerfall. Of
Bannerfall,
course,
I called that one.
Bannerfall. Yeah. Like we
And, like-
all play close range. Let's play on Bannerfall.
I don't want to sound super salty, but I think you should never have 5v5 elimination.
Look, I'll say one thing.
Not,
It was interesting.
not a great
I had
game mode.
never done it before. It was interesting.
Yeah.
I think we probably should have gotten more aggressive.
we should have pushed. We
Should've-
really should have
probably
pushed
should've
rather than
pushed a little
pulling
bit. But I mean, like
But,
again,
like-
fucking game type completely out of left field.
Yeah.
No one prepared for it, but they played well. So again,
did. Mhm.
everybody had a goddamn fun time.
Yeah.
GG's to DCP.
Yeah.
Well,
exactly.
So awesome.
Well
played all around. Super close games, and we raised so much money.
over $18,000.
$18,000 for the
Crazy.
kids.
and it
Everyone's
all
crazy.
went to St. Jude's Children's Hospital, and it was all part of the Guardian Con cause. And obviously, you've heard of that from Broman and Goth and Kevin and stuff like that. So it was really cool for them to sort
Good
of
stuff.
make it part of that. And if you just think about the total of what Guardian Con and everyone who helps out with that, and what just the Destiny community has done in general, the total amount of donations that have gone towards amazing good causes will boggle your mind, because it's above 500,000, and it's cruising towards 1 million, and that's the most insane thing I can think of. And anyone I tell, when people, we were joking earlier about our parents asking, but I did tell people after Saturday, and they're like, "You did what? You did that's amazing!
blown
Look,
away.
that's
It's
it.
a
What?
video game?
Blown
Yeah.
away.
You do a podcast or blah blah blah?" And wait,
Yeah.
$20,000? I'm like, yeah. Like, and
Yeah.
that was like a small chunk of what we did last year for before Destiny Community Con, and
Yeah.
it's happened frequently. It's not like this is the only other cause we've ever done as a community and stuff like that. Like, this is a regular occurrence, and that is beyond insane.
And you know what?
It's
done
incredible.
Yet. We ain't done yet.
Not at all. Hey, 10-year game, baby. It's only year 3.
Absolutely. Fuck, I love it, boys and girls.
Ready
So,
for the next one.
I want to
Yeah.
say 2 things. One, going back to what Mega said earlier about how he felt, helpful because he's like not a PvP player and he had a role and he had a job to do. Like, I want to say that going into a podcast showdown, when you're not when you're not a PvP player at a foundation, you know what I mean? It's really fucking impressive. Because there's not a lot of people I know who focus on either PvE or machinima or whatever, who would even step up to the plate for some shit like that. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
man.
Dude,
Yeah,
for a guy who
and to
played
play
his
in front of an
first-
audience.
Absolutely. And for a guy who played his first ever game of Trials of Osiris like under 2 months ago.
Last Exit was the first map I ever played on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, Bones and I are from strong PvP backgrounds, and you guys play PvP, but like, I don't know, it takes fucking guts to play in a big thing like this when that's not your home. So
Yeah.
like, fucking hats
Yeah.
off to everyone on the team for doing a fucking awesome job.
You are the
It made
wind
me
beneath
so
my
happy.
wings.
It made me so happy that all of us were communicating and trying to play on that level, because it
It
is
was great.
I'm like, I've said this in private. I've said this on this show. I say it all the time. But like, getting thrown in there is scary, and you get your ass kicked.
Yeah.
It's like, but it helps you so much, and it can be so fun and so eye opening.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about 5v5 podcast showdowns, but if you go into private matches with good players and you sweat and do all that. Like, I remember the first time I started doing that, and it was just like, you know, I'd gone flawless. I thought it was pretty good. I knew the meta. I researched it. I did a podcast about PvP. And then I was just like, you know what? I want to sweat. And I got against some good players. And it was just like a different game. I was playing a different form of Destiny. And it's so fun. And then you feel it immediately once you go into Crucible after that. You're like, oh, man, I'm playing faster now. And everyone's just kind of running around like crazy. It's just awesome. And I was so happy. I'm so proud of us for.
So that's the one thing I wanted to say. And the second thing I wanted to say is that the real winner of the podcast showdown is me, because at Guardian Con I get to shave Pope Bear's beard.
We blew past some stretch goals, and that was one of the things.
Dude,
you get to shave a beard
instantaneously.
Instantly.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Somebody heard it.
I think it was like, okay, if we get a $500 donation, then I think this was Pope talking, and he's like, then I'll shave my beard. And then literally, I think 1 minute later,
we got it.
Got
Someone
a
jumps.
$500.
Oh my god! And then, as a joke, it was like, if we get another $500 donation, I was like, if we get another, then I'll take his beard that he shaves off and I'll put it on my face. And then 2 minutes later, we just got another $500 donation.
There you go.
So yeah, Guardian.
People
Con.
really want to
that
see
morphed
you
into
wear a
shaving
beard.
him.
So if you're at
Oh my
home
God.
listening to the show right now, if you are on the fence, if you are waffling about, should I go to Guardian Con? The answer is now a 100% concrete yes, because I'm going to shave Pope Bear's beard and put it on my face.
It's going to be
Yeah,
mortifying
it's
and
gonna be
It's gonna be gross.
Wonderful.
As someone who has shaved off a lot of beards in his life and knows just how gross it's gonna look to see that loose hair on the ground, I feel so bad for you.
Oh, it's going to be absolutely nasty, and I'm going to
Bring a towel.
fucking love
If I were
every minute
Pope,
of it,
if I were
dude.
Pope, I hope he's not listening and doesn't do this. I would go like a week without washing my beard and just get it extra nasty for you.
Please stop.
Don't put that out there, man.
This is a
Yeah,
family
wow.
show.
Dude, it's going to be hilarious. I don't care if I have to do something stupid or embarrassing. I don't know. It's just hilarious, and it's for a good cause. Who cares?
Yes.
It's for the
Yeah.
kids.
Yeah.
What do I-
And the
what do
fact
I
that it was
care?
answered immediately.
Yeah.
Don't ever put a challenge out on the internet
Absolutely.
because someone will answer.
If the fans are going to answer the call and the results are going to go to charity, I will do whatever. So it's going to be hilarious.
Oh man.
Ugh.
And that was the
But yeah.
story of the showdown.
It was.
Yeah.
Good time.
One thing I want to say is next time, if we want to do a tiebreaker, just do mayhem. I floated that idea in chat. Everyone seems to love it. I think having mayhem would just be the perfect way to break a tie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do that.
I
do
can't
that
remember
next
the last time I played Mayhem.
time. Exactly.
Long.
That's why it'd be great.
It'll be once, and it'll be for that. It'll be for the showdown.
But it was wonderful.
Ugh.
But right on. Great show, guys. It was a fantastic show.
Yes.
Thanks,
I think we
everybody.
really blew
GGs.
it out of the water.
Thanks to everybody who tuned in,
Yeah.
who had a
Everyone.
fun
Pat,
time watching,
DCP,
and who donated.
amazing job.
Yeah.
Yep. Count it.
Can't wait for the next one.
Yeah.
We
Soon.
tried really hard to have Stories Red Bar take some games for us, but
Yeah.
we just
He
decided at the end we were like, we should play
to
fair.
just DDoS
Yeah, man.
and use his packet loss
Yeah.
to the advantage. I don't understand.
No,
Tefty's
it's a
netcode
different
connection
kind
to
of
the Force was
latency.
I
too
know.
strong.
I know.
It's
You
a
refuse to
different
just
kind.
throttle your connection. I don't know
Yeah,
why.
I know.
You just-
If we gave out like Mario Party medals, you know, like one person wins, but everyone gives out like a medal at the end of a
Oh,
Mario
yeah.
Party game, Story would be like dealing with the hardest lag,
deal with
and
the
it would have
hardest
some like
red bar.
puns.
Oh
aimed
man,
at
it was
but
tough. It was
Yeah.
tough. But it's like normally, like you know me and lag, like it would really put me on tilt and make me get really angry. But like I don't care. Someone just donated 10 grand. Give me all the lag.
Yeah.
I'll have a bath
Like,
in that
I
lag
think
right
we mentioned
now.
that.
You know.
I think we mentioned that on the stream. Like after that happened during the sword tilt match, I didn't care about the results of the rest of the games.
Yeah.
That-
No, it
from
was
that
like-
moment on, I was like, "Holy crap, that's
I'm just glad
amazing!"
everybody had a fun time.
It was
Yeah,
like
it was a cause, right?
you know, you
That
hear
was
those
the
famous
purpose.
stories of World War II, where you've got the English and Americans on the front line and the Germans at the Christmas time, and they can hear the Christmas songs
Yeah.
emanating
And they stop
over the
fighting.
no man's
Yeah.
land, and then they just decide to club together and join and sing Christmas carols together.
Decided-
That's what happened on Anomaly. We joined together in a bubble,
That's
and
actually- yeah,
we
that's what happened.
danced and rejoiced among the
They
massive
decided
10K.
to climb up out of the trenches and
Yeah.
dab real hard.
Yeah, man. It was a beautiful moment. It was
wonderful.
history right there.
Really
Yeah.
outstanding.
It was good stuff.
Okay, all right. What else is there to talk about? Did
Memories.
anything
What
else
else?
happen? Is Destiny dead? Nothing goes
Yeah,
on,
Rip.
right?
When is the funeral for Destiny? When's the
But
date?
wait, guys,
No.
we got a real update.
We
got a
have
thing.
a real update.
An update
Yes,
for the update.
we do.
Yes.
Yeah. The
A
next
very
download.
impressive sounding update, if I may say so, you know? It's a very impressive sounding update.
So I guess Bungie had tuned in to our last show
Yeah.
because we were like, oh yeah, we're happy that there's something on the horizon. The
Yes.
story was like, I can't do a story impression. He said,
I thought he was talking for a second.
Who was
can't
that?
do it. That they didn't announce the date. And now
Mid-Feb.
we have a vague-ish kind of date. The
Vague-ish, yeah.
download for Destiny Hotfix 2.5.0.2
Yep.
is scheduled for mid-February.
Yep.
Confirmed.
Yes.
Confirmed.
And it's going to have some sandbox changes,
Yes.
some crucible changes, and apparently some clash changes.
That's
Yeah,
the
which
thing.
is what
That's the
Story
huge
wanted,
thing.
so
yeah,
that's
like
good.
that was.
Yeah.
I was really eager to find out whether class balancing was going to be talked about, and they really did keep that button lipped, didn't they? Up until this one, so it was like,
yeah.
oh, thankfully. Now we've got. I mean, there's a whole shift. Potentially, a lot of things could like change, and there could be a really big shift in PvP. So like, it's quite an exciting thing to know that it's coming. You know, we have to get ready to adapt to the new meta, and maybe enjoy some of the subclasses that we haven't been using as much because they're maybe not as strong as they used to be, or can't keep up with some of the other stuff out there. So yeah, it's exciting times really if you're a PvP fan.
It's nice to finally know that something's coming.
Yeah.
We have no idea
Yeah.
what's coming, although we did get a little bit of a chat in about what they're looking to do with this. They gave us some goals.
Why don't you read them off in that hot voice?
It's been a
buddy?
minute since I've heard Link read some weekend update stuff.
Yeah.
Right on. All right.
That's all I
Yeah.
Pull this thing up. Get my reading glasses. These are coming from senior designer Josh Hamrick. They talk about having some specific goals that they want to they want to put in place for this sandbox update. Number 1, they would like to promote alternatives and counters to shotguns. Now, that's a good start because they didn't say we would like to tone down the strength of shotguns, which is what I was afraid they were going to do with this. I was afraid that I was afraid they were going to take this and say, okay, we're going to give a blanket nerf to shotgun range again, and we're probably going to specifically nerf the Matador in general, either knocking down its impact or probably doing something like knocking down its magazine size from, I think it's at 5 right now, to 4 or 3. So promoting other changes to other things to be able to counter shotguns is exactly what I want to hear from Buddy. Again, this is super vague. We don't have anything set in stone here, but I thought it was a good start. Number 2, they would like to align potency of primary weapons with surgical changes. Surgical changes, what do you guys think that means?
Well, it's got to mean incredibly precise. You know, surgical. If you make a mistake, you're going to end up scratching someone's heart and they're dead. So this is emphasizing how important and how much effort has gone into testing these kind of things, I think. So, and it is like almost make or break time, because let's say, for example, they made a big mistake, or they made something that wasn't tested as intensely as they'd like to test it, then that's not going to do. It's not going to have like positive ripples. You know, it's not going to bring people back. It's not going to keep people ticking over till the next major content update, if we get any at all. So yeah, I think that was a very good word to drop in there. That certainly gave me some reassurance and faith, for one, definitely.
Yeah, and it's also along the lines of what we've talked about in the past, where you can't just.
Yeah,
You know, it's
Switch
not a
button.
dial you turn up, like make hand cannons hit harder, do 90 damage. Like that's not the solution. So now we're really looking forward to see what it means when they say surgical changes, like changing accuracy, stability, what have you. But it's not just going to be this gun does more damage. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out.
Yeah,
with all the options.
Sure thing.
All right. Next up, they say they're going to be filing down a couple of issues from each class. I don't know about you guys, but I'm incredibly scared that means my Shocky Touch is going to be getting looked at a little bit. And I don't like that.
The first thing I thought of when I read that, I was like, skip grenades. If I had to put
I thought it
money
meant
on
weapon class.
Skip grenades. They're gonna do something. If I was a gambling man and we were at a casino right now and it was like, I would push all my chips right onto that button.
How do you feel about skip grenades in general? Do you think they track a little bit too much?
I mean, I don't know. They're annoying, but annoying doesn't mean
they
game
are.
breaking. I mean,
Yeah.
annoying and game breaking are two really different things.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't know, like the
But
only
this is
things,
Destiny. We care more about it. We care more about annoying.
Apparently.
I don't know, man. There's not much personally. There's not much class-wise that I find like annoying, apart from the things that don't work the way they're intended. You know, like Blade Dancer, Super. You know, that kind of thing. Or I don't know. Is there anything else that's like doesn't really work as well as it should? But nothing bothers me. Sunsingers maybe, yeah. But like, there's nothing.
But Sunsingers mechanically do what they're supposed to do right now.
Yeah.
So it's a really fine line to walk of just like, is this doing something that feels wrong?
Yeah.
Should it not do this, or is it just, you know, very strong or a little on the weak side?
Yeah.
Because after 2.5 years, things are functioning fairly well. There's not a thing that just seems like, I don't know. I don't like how that works mechanically.
Nothing really
So it's
bothers
gonna,
me
like,
class-wise, like to the point where I'm like, oh no, that must be fixed. It's just there's nothing. They're not even when I'm versus Stormcallers with, you know, really long melees. It doesn't. I'm just one of those people that it doesn't really bother, you know, that much. The only thing that is Blade Dance, I just want that super to be just a little bit more effective and a little bit less glitchy. That's about it, man. It's like something that doesn't appear to work the way that it was intended to work, or needs a bit of love, and that's it really. Weapons.
I wonder if that falls into the whole melee issue.
Possibly.
There was that specific melee fix a while back in year 2.
Yeah,
and that was huge. That made such a difference.
It helped,
I still get the occasional, like, you hear the sound on your Titan or on my Warlock even yesterday, where you hear it but it doesn't register the melee charge or something like that, and that's just, you know, I don't even know, net code, some weird word for how our internet works.
But
I wonder if that's maybe hurting the Blade Dancer quite a bit.
It was definitely improved upon, wasn't it, when we had that?
Oh yeah.
You know,
yes.
By a lot.
Yeah,
that was
improved upon.
One of the best changes they made. Like, really underrated change. It was very good.
Blade Dancer swinging at you, and you're like, yes, a cool breeze.
What was that?
Yes.
Hand me off.
Did someone open a door?
My Warlock too hot. Breeze.
Goddamn.
You guys think they're going to touch Juggernaut at all?
No, I why? You know.
Do you know what's so hilarious?
That's my opinion.
It's my favorite topic.
So many people are like, "What do you mean? Why? It's the worst thing ever."
Do you remember
It's my
months
favorite
ago,
topic.
that was the *1 hot button issue in the community. Everybody was complaining about Juggernaut Shield for like a month, and then where did it go?
To counter it?
And then people started playing better.
Countered it.
Yeah.
And like, I haven't heard anyone complain about Juggernaut.
No, it's
In
that
a while.
hubbub has died down. You know, there's plenty out there. I mean, I think a lot of the complaints that still surface every now and again seem to be very centric around 3 people running the same subclass. Oh no, 3 Night Stalkers, 3 Stormcallers, 3 Striker Titans, and it's like, well, yeah, that can be a very powerful mix when you're going up of 3 of the same thing in, say, Trials, for example. But like in just general PvP, those kind of complaints do seem to have just dispersed.
People don't care about Juggernaut as much anymore. Everyone just cares about Scories. That's the only thing I hear.
It's
I think,
so
that's
above a door
Yeah.
and bait a Juggernaut in and
It's
just have
hilarious,
them charge
dude.
and then jump and just be like,
bam, I'll get some.
That happened.
Yep.
You're done.
Ole.
Ole. Yeah.
It's the best. But
Well,
yeah.
all right. Moving on
Shall
to
we?
number 4. They say they're going to fix some issues with a sampler platter of exotics.
Yes.
Now, this one interested me because there's a lot of exotics out there that could use a little bit of a look.
Yeah.
You
Yes,
guys
there's
got
like
anything
50.
in mind?
The knucklehead. I feel like the
It's
knucklehead
insane.
radar
Exactly.
needs to do something, but that's just me. The knucklehead is like,
Mega, shut up.
Poor
No one cares.
Poor knucklehead
Mega,
radar.
you're a knucklehead.
oh.
There's so many things that do what that thing does
There's an
better.
Yeah.
artifact for that now.
I know. That's why I'm like, what the hell's the point of this exotic? Why does
Yeah.
it exist?
Or God, what is that horrible Titan mask? The Striker Titan mask, the stone face thing.
Oh, yeah.
The warrior.
The Eternal Warrior?
Imperial Warrior.
The Eternal Warrior.
That helmet
Yes.
is straight garbage. I wouldn't even use that as a doorstop in my apartment. I don't know what to tell you.
I would. It looks pretty. I'd use it as a doorstop.
It's spooky.
Well,
You
why
know?
would you ever put
Pretty,
it on?
yeah.
It's a waste of an
Isn't-
exotic.
Isn't that the
You
same
get up in
thing with
somebody's
the
face when
space
they're in the
helmet?
menu.
The Warlock space
Yeah, and they
helmet,
come out of their
doesn't that
screen,
one fun?
and you're like right
Yeah.
there with the face. They're like, ah!
Straight out of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. But speaking of garbage helmets, the Astrocyte verse.
Yeah, that's.
There's an amazing looking helmet that is
Well,
garbage.
I think that one's a bit of an anomaly, that one, because like if it had its original perk, which was to reduce the cooldown of Blink, because there's still a lot of confusion about what Astrocyte Verse actually is supposed to do.
Yeah.
In Taken King, when it was in the database, it was supposed to have a reduced cooldown on Blink, but that was like seriously powerful stuff and a further blinking distance as
Year
well.
one blink.
Yeah. So not only would you be able to blink more often, you'd be able to blink further as well. And I think the reason why that wasn't released there and then was because like, oh, that's gonna be super powerful. So they changed that
Yeah.
for Rise of Iron, and it was now recovery. You get a slightly faster recovery on Blink. There's a big confusion over what that perk actually does and how it changed, and it is really marginal. It is actually quite a tricky thing to get to proc, because you have to blink at exactly the right time to get the accelerated recovery, and even then it's like, how is this going to help me, and why would I use that in my exotic slot? And it's a shame because it looks like one of the best exotics ever.
Pretty cool.
It's
yeah.
super pretty.
Yeah, it's like
You
so
have a
impressive.
galaxy in your face.
Yeah, man.
I spent some time in a private match with a friend shooting me, and I said, just shoot me and let me blink and try to make this do anything. And it is so impractical that I couldn't imagine wearing it.
Yeah.
Like there,
Yeah,
and
no.
to put on blink and get the hit to recovery to begin with, it's almost like counterintuitive that it gives you more. It's like that's just so not worth it just to be able to blink.
Indy
Yeah,
4,
which is
there's
not
some
the-
YouTube comment about how they go flawless because of that helmet every
Oh
week
yeah,
or something.
your theory is wrong because I used
meta,
this one
man.
time and it worked.
Yeah.
I did a video on it. Like I tested the thing for like a whole day. And I did a video on it,
Yeah.
like describing exactly what it does now to the best of my ability, and I still get comments on it saying you're a dickhead, you don't understand. It was supposed to farther blink, more blink. I've tested this, it works. And I'm like,
Wrong.
Hashtag YouTube life.
Oh my God. You guys mentioned armor right away. I'm skeptical if we have any changes to exotic armor.
Really?
I
Yeah.
hope so, but I think like I'm so much more interested in the weapons.
In the
because
weapons,
there's
Yeah.
so many, and they don't have to be necessarily strong. And like they've said, the philosophy behind an exotic is that it gives you a different way to play. It's not going to give you the better way to play. But when you change an exotic so slightly, it can have more of an effect because they all have identities.
yeah,
And I'd love a mix up in exotic weapons and to have some that work a little better. You know, I want my Monte Carlo to hit a little harder.
Yes.
I want Red Death to be a viable thing in the Crucible, or Bad Juju, my old favorite. There's so many exotic weapons that I'd love to see get more action, and that's just like I look. I'm not going to lie to
No
myself
beating around
and
the bush.
think that'll ever come back. But yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's just like there's so many weapons, and I can look at my item manager and think I haven't touched that in months because it doesn't do much. Or like the Kvastov. Let me kill someone with Kvastov in the Crucible and not have it be an immense amount of work. So I'm really interested to see if
Me too.
they do anything specific to those guns, but if the general primary, secondary weapon changes, let one of those kind of rise up. Pun not intended.
Rise up, a Crucible.
But like
Buff, whatever. Don't
break out
apologize.
Bungie's new philosophy.
Yeah.
I want to use
Let's go with that
Necrochasm. That's all I'm
moving
saying.
yeah, Necrochasm.
man.
There's
It was-
one that really
It
does.
was
need
good
a
for
second.
all of a month.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then it just got knocked right back down.
Yeah.
And that's a
Necrochasm
pretty
was
hard
good
gun
for
to
all of a
get.
week.
You know,
It is.
It
that
is.
is a very
Yeah.
hard gun to get because that Crux
That took me a
Crota
very long
is
time.
tremendously rare.
Yeah.
Yeah, some
that
people
rest,
here
baby.
might
Bring
not
it
even
back.
have it at all, or maybe have never used it. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know who that would be. Some people maybe decided it wasn't worth the hassle to get it. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not.
You're right.
It's
It's
not
not.
right now.
You made the right decision.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
All right, Link. What's the last goal?
All right, and goal number 5 is supporting adjustments to special ammunition. Now, I found this one interesting
nervous.
because this has been an ever-going battle since Destiny
Yeah.
started. Bungie trying to figure out what they want to do with special ammo. I'm guessing as it relates to Crucible.
Makes me so
You guys
nervous.
think they're gonna
No.
you think they're gonna knock it down again?
I don't want them to. I don't want them to.
I don't want them to
I don't
either.
want them to.
It's a weird
I'm so
one, isn't it?
nervous they
Because
will.
like that's the only available option to actually reduce the amount of special ammo. It's not like they're going to increase it, are they? You know, like,
Yeah, right.
so it's like the
Everyone
only
spawns
thing.
in with a
Take
pack
more.
on their back, big
Yeah.
green trunk of ammo, and you just run around with this huge
Every
refrigerator on your
every
back that
single
you can
gun
activate
now
whenever
works
you
like
want.
icebreaker, and they just
Yeah.
constantly reload ammo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it.
Yeah, I can see the patch notes now. Fixed an issue in which specials were not primaries. Giving you ammo for 'em.
Every
Nothing like
gun
the
is
patch
uni
notes
now.
and containing some dank memes to
Oh,
make people go crazy.
Dank mayonnaise.
Yeah, that would be the only thing that they could possibly entertain the idea of. I mean, we have no idea. It could be like a 0.1% nerf to the
Yeah.
amount of ammo you could carry, or maybe the timer on the special ammo is increased or something like that. You know, it could be a really marginal change, but that sentence means something is going to happen. Otherwise, they'd have kept closed-lipped about it. So that we have to
Or
expect
they'd
something.
phrase it differently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of excited about that as well, though, because I know Bungie have always been very reluctant to do much in the way of like either reducing or changing the special ammo. In fact, the boldest change they ever made was when they, when you spawned in with trials, you spawned in with no special at all. But that was very quickly hotfixed, wasn't it? Like that was
Yeah.
very quickly
Yeah.
It
changed.
changed it back. Yeah.
So I'm interested to see what that is, to be honest. And I'm a primary guy, even though I fully support now that Destiny is a very class ability based game, and I enjoy that and I support that. But I like my primaries, so I'm interested. I want to see what's going on with that. Yeah.
Well, much like my mother tells me, I am special. So I really hope that they don't tweak it too much, you know? I mean, I kind of like... A lot of people think that special ammo makes the game too chaotic, too crazy. But I like it crazy, you know what I mean? I like it fast-paced.
That's where it's
Those are the
unique.
fun plays.
Yeah.
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 Those
It's
are the
unique.
fun plays. Is
Those are the
mowing
fun
people
plays,
down,
yeah.
baiting shotguns,
Yep.
hitting snipes, hitting triple kills and stuff. Like all of that comes from special ammo, and we don't want it to be the only thing happening because then it kind of ruins the fun of that. But for it to go away or to be too infrequent is just it's a bummer if I
Yeah.
think about that.
Yeah.
Then that's why I don't snipe as much because it's just going into 6v6 with a sniper. I'm gonna get like 2 shots
Yeah.
and be like, okay.
It's
primary
already
for the rest of
quite
the game.
sniping is that the ammo is quite. No, I wouldn't say scarce, but it's like you have to really
But
pick.
it's not plentiful.
No, it's not.
Well,
Yeah.
it's
Plenty.
about the efficiency of each gun. A shotgun is incredibly efficient with special ammo, and it's why it's a great choice right now. A sniper, they're not impossible to use. All the changes to look, speed, blah blah blah. People still hit their shots, but they're going to miss more, and they get 4 rounds a box. You maybe hit 2 and you miss 2, and you're back to scrounging. And you're out of the game trying to get a box, and it throws you off. So it's not it doesn't make for good game flow, and it doesn't give you your power weapon to control the people who are going to attack you with all their special ammo.
I'm still
So-
really sore about the massive capacity nerf to longbow. I was grinding my heart out for longbow
so small.
for so long, and I got one the day before they nerf it. That was when I finally dropped, and like. The first time I used it in Crucible was like they'd already nerfed it, and I went to go and pick up some ammo, and I'm like, what? No, no. So
None for you.
I'm hoping that snipers come back again to a degree, and I'm really hoping the longbow gets some love, but.
That was nice.
Yeah, man.
I agree.
I've got like a collection of them now that I've got one for Sunday best.
Even as a shotgun
in my
player.
wildest dreams, I would love to be a good sniper. Even though I'm not good at anything in this game, but that's the thing I wish I was good at.
No,
so
you
like
tell a
right now,
lie, man.
my only choice to practice is to use like queen breakers or no land, because then I'll have ammo for all the shots that I miss. Like it's just kind of rough for me because I want to get better at it, but there's no real good option to practice currently.
I've hung up my Queen Breaker's bow for good after the showdown.
R.I.P.
It's
Rip.
the
Everybody
worst
press F
thing
to pay
ever.
respect
when-
for Stories Queenie.
Yeah, it's hung up. Like it's
Press
just if
F.
you, it's a great weapon. It's a lot of fun, but if there is like that kind of degree of latency for you, it is just awful. It's the most awful thing ever. And yeah, a sniper or a shotgun is going to do you a lot more, but it doesn't stop the gun from being fun. And if you've got a good connection in a good lobby, go ham, man. It's loads of fun. But Scott, you're in Rumble every time I log on now. You're in Rumble, honing your
got a new
skills,
Rumble pony.
man.
Yeah.
Dude, we're
Look,
converting him.
I'm
Yeah.
getting ready for the next showdown. We will not lose the next one. I will not be the reason. I will not be the weak link on this team anymore.
He's got a tattoo across his chest written
Yes.
backwards, so when he looks in the mirror, it says, never again.
Never again.
Never again.
And it's just got Tef's face underneath it.
That way you never need to ask.
I
where
shaved
he
my chest hair into the beard. I had them
is. Oh
not
my
include the
God,
beard,
that would
and
be
then I
fucking
just
incredible.
sculpted it. Yes.
Good lord.
Was there anything else in the update, or do you want to move on to some questions from the?
I'm just getting nervous about it, so I don't want to talk about it anymore. I just want to. I
Yeah,
need the
we're
patch notes. And
starting to spook
Go to
ourselves.
your happy
yeah.
place. Shotguns, Matador.
It's not that far
Hopefully
away
coming
though.
out sometime
Couple of
mid
weeks.
February.
Gentlemen,
Like in the
couple
You know
of
that-
weeks. You know.
Final
We're going to be
round.
getting a Bungie ride along for it at some point in time. They talked about having a live stream, and it's hopefully coming out mid February. That's all we
Yeah.
know.
If they're doing a stream for this, they got to be doing some changes.
I reckon this is
Goddamn.
why it's
Yeah.
been so like I wouldn't say late is a good actual word for it, but like I think that I'm confident
fair,
that
that's
things
fair.
have been worked on this. I think that
This could really turn into a very different Crucible.
yeah.
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 The,
better
with the amount of
Crucible.
time that they put into making it how they want it to be when they ship it, and doing the stream. We had Grant McKay and Greg on Crucible Radio a long time ago, but the thing that stood out to me from that conversation was that they always want more time, and sometimes. And this is like hard for anyone to hear who's like, it's been 130 days since the last patch. This is really hard to hear, but they're like always like, give us another week to do the balance, and they're like, we gotta push it, And so like they've hopefully got that time they want. They always want more time. So I'm very, very curious for this patch in particular, because
Yeah.
I know that if they could pause time and work on it, they'd spend 5 years perfecting it. But
If I could.
the show must
This
go
will be the
on,
last
so
one.
I'm very curious.
If
It's probably
It
going to
could
be the
be.
last
yeah,
one
the
before
last
Destiny 2.
weapons
It could
and
be.
class
And,
balancing patch. So I think that
That's like, wow.
yeah,
That's
it's
hard
sad.
to say. That's hard to.
When was
It's
the
kind of-
last time
it's really sad.
that they had a Crucible specific ride along? Like it was a while
Yeah.
ago. I think was it the time when they announced the sniper changes?
They did
Was that
the
it?
April
I
update
think so.
one because Nusk was on to talk
Yeah,
about
you're
guns,
right.
and they had Grant on to talk about warlocks, which was quite the fun time. But yeah, that was, and premiering the new Prison of Elders, and we got to look at the new guns for that and stuff. But
Yeah.
So,
Long time ago.
boys,
it's been a minute.
I think we have a bit of a oops moment here, because I am scrolling through the Planet Destiny Twitter,
Yeah.
and a question tweet I cannot find.
Oh no.
Rip.
What are we going to do?
Well, I mean, chat's going crazy.
Yeah.
We could probably pull something
Yeah.
from there.
Find some chats.
So get some questions going in the chat, and we will answer them.
Yes, we will.
Maybe.
maybe.
Oh,
not.
okay. We got one. Frost Diaz, what's up, subscriber?
Hey.
Would you guys like armor piercer rounds to go through Jug Shield? This is a straight suggestion. That's interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I vote
Because
for
all right,
that.
so armor piercing would be on where do they show up on primaries these days? I don't know what guns roll with them, but I think snipers immediately because I remember the old
I think
LDR.
I think they show up on some pulse rifles. I feel like I have some that have
maybe scout rifles.
So I think of the old vendor LDR when you can just shoot through the walls on rusted lands and get kills, which was hilarious. The wall bangers. But if I'm thinking about that, I wouldn't want it. I don't think it would totally neutralize the jug shield, but maybe if it did half damage, but it still got through the shield and sort of slowed their approach or weakened them a little bit by the time they get to you and you take out your shotgun. But I find that really interesting because you would have to sacrifice a pretty good perk on a sniper if you wanted to snipe through a jug shield. You'd have to sacrifice quick draw or snapshot, which are the ways to go these days. Yeah. But I mean, we were just talking about it when a team in trials is stacking their loadouts with the same thing, and if you got a bunch of jugs charging you, that might be a good option. I kind of like that.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
I like it.
Having that as a way to partially bypass a juggernaut shielding, it's a good idea.
Yeah, and the perk at the moment, it doesn't really do a fat lot, so it's one of those extraneous perks. So
that's a good point. It doesn't do it. Anything.
Yes, so it'll have relevance again. Yeah,
I like that. Yeah, at least to give that perk something to a reason to not shard a gun if that's one of the middle slots. I like that.
I like it too. I think that's interesting.
Mega Magwitch asks, did Fallout die?
He's gone invis. He's got his blade dancer on. He's taking a knee.
Yeah,
he's gone invis.
Oh, poor Fallout. He gone. All right. Questions.
Oh, we got so many. I gotta scroll up.
My
Shadow Golem says, just want to tell you all I appreciate you all. Well, thank you, Shadow.
Aw.
Thanks, man.
It's not a question, but I appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. I have a question for him. Why are you so great?
What's the deal, man?
Yeah.
Let me have a little look.
I got one from Lazy Summer Stone.
Yo,
says,
what's up,
will
Lazy?
they do a public beta for Destiny 2? What if it's September beta, December final release? That's interesting because I want them to do a Destiny beta. I don't know if they will. Destiny, with the previous beta and the alpha, it was a brand new franchise. It was something, a kind of first-person shooter that had never really been tested before. And now, this is a game that's been proven successful for far longer than a lot of other games in the first-person shooter branch can really hold out. Destiny is an incredibly popular game. And it stayed incredibly popular far longer than most other shooters do.
Record capacity,
I feel like
record capacity of gaming.
Like somebody did a tally of the number of players who were in trials, I think last weekend. And fair notice here, it was the lowest number of players that have ever participated in trials. That number was still like 216,000 players.
Yeah, it only makes sense because the game's been around for a minute.
That's almost 3 years now. But I would love it if there was a Destiny 2 beta. I think if there was, it would be announced at E3. Probably.
That really kind of depends on what kind of game we're getting, because there's this the mystery of, are we taking our characters and just moving on? Is it more, or is this going to be a new thing we buy? Is it, how different is it? Because if it's like, I mean, I expect difference, obviously. I'm not saying it's the next Rise of Iron, but what kind of game is it? Does it need a beta? Yeah. How different is it from Destiny? And I think that could be fairly telling if they do announce a beta. Yeah. That'd be interesting.
I guess I just assumed that there'd be a beta, because like Halo 3 and Halo Reach both had betas, and those were later entries also by Bungie. So I guess I'm just like used to them doing betas, but you're right about it. Like, they only really need to do it if there's some sort of major-ish changes.
And at the same time, betas these days are as much a promotional tool as they are
demos.
Yeah, I mean, they are all about.
It's basically a demo.
The sales, and it's smart. It makes me play some betas, but I mean that's the industry these days.
I mean, just from a development perspective, testing new systems, new netcodes, new ways of doing things, whether it be matchmaking or just something that needs to be put out in the wild. So unless there's some really drastic changes to the integral system, then it might not be so beneficial for them, like as a company standpoint, you know. So I wouldn't be surprised if there wasn't one. To be fair, I mean, there's all this hubbub about will Destiny 2 come out on PC. There's a lot of rumors going on about that, and I'm pretty doubtful that it will ever make it to PC. I'll eat my hat. I'll eat my hat if I see it. Yeah. But PC games.
I want it to
Somebody
bad.
record a clip of that.
Yeah, you can.
Donate $1,000 to St. Jude's and Story.
I will eat my hat.
Put a little hot sauce on
Just
it.
not this one, okay? This is my
no,
lucky
no,
hat.
Not the favorite hat. You
No.
never eat the favorite hat.
No.
I'll make a hat out
Favorite.
of mashed potato and gravy. How's about that?
That sounds
there it
delicious,
is.
and I like it.
As long as you wear it before you
Fiber.
eat it, I'm fine.
I'm
with
done.
It.
Yep,
It
I'll
has
do
to be
that.
wearable.
That sounds
All right,
like
good.
that sounds fine.
So we're doing questions in the Twitch chat, are we?
Yeah,
Yes,
man.
yes,
sir.
yes.
How long did it take you to not grow your beard, Fallout?
All
my life, baby.
Yeah.
All my life.
There's a
Fallout-
huge beard there. It's just invisible. You can't see it.
Yes.
You can't see it.
Yeah.
It's actually
when I find out
insane.
things
big.
like that Fallout's from like Brooklyn, I just expect him to be hardened and tough and have a beard, but
Yeah,
it's just it's just not how
One
it
of
works.
those guys who walks around like, "Hey, I'm walking here."
Exactly. No, but he's
That's what I imagine Fallout.
instead he has an Idaho face, I'd say.
Yeah,
That's just
I'm
what
a,
he looks
I'm
like.
a doughy, soft-wristed bitch. I think I broke Megan.
It's just such an intense way. So,
Wonderful.
I'm here to entertain you, buddy.
oh, I loved it. Thank you.
Should Trials gauntlets have perks for picking up ammo crates faster? That's actually an interesting thought. A perk for picking up ammo crates faster. Would any of you put that on if you had the option to?
It depends. How faster?
Since Bones said yes, I probably should have said yes. But no.
I love
I'd like to
stealing
change
it.
my answer.
I love just being
Yeah.
like, I know I'm dying, and I could either go out fighting and shooting, or I could take the special
Just be
ammo
an
and this
ass.
other team doesn't get it. So
And
I
I
don't.
mean-
But that's not a trials thing specifically,
No.
to be honest. That's more of
Yeah.
like a sixes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. I
denying
like the
people
concept of the
specials
perk.
so
I don't know if it
strong.
needs to be on trials.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
Bones, when I do sweats with my brother, Bumpy Williams, is a really funny guy.
I know.
He does it so much, like intentionally going in. Even if he knows he's going to get mollywopped, he will dive in because if
Just
you can
skates right to the box.
Yeah, a lot of these maps that are the tournament favorite maps, there's not a lot of specials. There's usually only like 3 crates. So if you can lock down on the timer, special pops up at 9 minutes on the timer for the first time in whatever 3v3 mode we're playing. If you can lock down all the specials, you really put the other team at a big disadvantage.
Yep.
So we start referring to it as a bumpy trade now because he does it so often. Like he's like, I'm doing it, fucking going in, and he slides in and he goes, yes, I got it.
We
killed
learned
him.
that Friday when we were trying to practice a little bit, and Bumpy was on the other team, and we're on Burning Shrine, and it's sort of 7 minutes on the clock, and I'm like, hey, did we
get
forget
special?
ammo?
Yeah, we were like,
he's-
oh my god.
He's one of the
Bumpy
fastest
took it
Titans
all.
I've ever played,
Yeah,
so it's
dude.
just like, yeah, that makes sense. Makes sense that he just
Hold it
picks
like
up
an
all the
asshole.
boxes.
Yeah, I would like that if
Oh.
they put that on. Actually, I'm trying to think of what piece of armor I would be okay with having that perk on.
I mean, I could see it on gauntlets. Have it sort of like raid gear, where it has an extra intrinsic perk, and just have that pulling special faster.
But I like the
Yeah.
gauntlets because you either have the longer grenade range, which is good, or the quicker melee, which I also like, and then you have the faster primary reload speed, or whatever reload speed. Which
Yeah.
I
It should be a
really
perk
like.
on transversive steps.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
On boots. Yeah.
Yeah,
And that's just the ammo machine.
go.
That's the ammo
There you go.
machine.
I like that.
And it gives transversive steps a little more oomph in the Crucible because they're more of like a raid thing now.
Yes.
You're
Yeah,
not
for
using that.
sure.
Hey, if we would have had that crouch speed during the sword hilt challenge when we were all crouching around, all right, that would've been
Oh, you see,
Oh, I should
it's
have
coming out now. Yeah.
fucking
the
roll
choo-choo
it.
train just coming on.
Oh my gosh,
Okay,
so
Laughing Man
dumb.
is asking me, can I say Brisbane and Melbourne without butchering them? Did I do it?
No.
Apparently I'm American, and it's
Yeah.
not Brisbane and Melbourne. I know that.
Yeah.
Why
How do you
isn't
say
it?
them, Story?
So
Story.
Brisbane
How do you
and
say?
Melbourne.
how do you
Why isn't
say
that?
It was
it?
Brisbane and Melbourne. You know, that's how I would say it.
Brisbane
and Melbourne. That's kind of what I did, right? I think I did it right. That's how
did that
you
right.
say it in Australia. Fallout. You're from Brooklyn, all right? Get out of the way.
That's how I
Now
talk.
get out of here! You're bothering me.
Shut up. Fallout's podcast voice is very nice and smooth.
Yeah,
and as soon as we,
And then as soon as
we stop
great
screaming,
show,
he's
guys.
just like, great show. Oh my god.
They're like, all right,
Fallout,
tone
Fallout
it down,
for a
buddy.
guy from Brooklyn, you do the worst Brooklyn accent I've ever heard in my life.
I was trying to do an annoying voice, not a Brooklyn
okay.
voice.
Oh,
It was
okay.
like,
Just annoying.
after the
Okay.
podcast, like, hey, good job, guys. You know, it was
Yeah.
a great show.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know
God.
that
End the
squeaker that
Skyfall.
you mute every time you get in a party? That's Fallout.
It's me.
Alright.
Every
Oh,
time.
is that
It's
how
really
that works?
confusing when Fallout does trials carries because someone joins the party and they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh my god, there's a squeaker here," and then
I'm like,
and
oh,
they don't know what's happening.
yeah.
'cause
Yeah.
it's Fallout.
One shot
They don't realize.
on my orb. He's on my orb. Yeah, it's like my real voice, hybrid between Tweety Bird and the Keebler Elves.
Oh, wow. There it
There you go.
is.
I don't know what
It's
an
a good
elf,
mix.
Keebler elf sounds like.
It's a good mix.
I-
There's a lot of questions popping up about scories in the chat and whether that's going to be addressed in the patch. And like, if it is, what could possibly happen with it to try and get it a bit more,
right,
less.
here's
Such
the
a good
perfect-
idea
We-
on this show a month
something
ago.
last
What was
week.
the idea?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think it was.
Oh, damn it! Wait a
We
minute.
had such a good
Yeah.
good concept.
this
Oh,
is what.
It was like
The
I can't-
scories, if you're charged and you're gonna give supers, it slows you down.
Yeah,
it
was
gives
it.
you
So
a
that,
debuff.
was
you
it.
have
That
you
was
have
it.
to be supporting.
It gives
but if
you the
anyone
cement
wants a
shoes.
super,
Yeah.
they can't just you guys can't run around.
How do you-
and charge.
How do you slow someone down who's already camping in the back of the map? I don't understand.
Well, dude, if someone wants to
Yeah.
be really slow and also in the back corner
Yeah.
of the map, I will happily
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
charge them.
The other
Maybe
one
lose
that
your
we
radar
had
or
was something like you'll only get like the accelerated super buff if you're scoring points or if you're actually getting kills. You have to be like getting some kind of points, so you can't just sit. It was like a deterrent to be sitting in spawn and waiting for
that's a good
super
idea.
energy. I think that's the
Something-
only thing that really needs some kind of like a
like
decrease.
tie it to movement
So
or
if
something.
you
Tie-
don't
I would
if
say.
you don't get a
uh,
kill or any points on the board in like a 10-second window, Scories is just like I'm not working anymore.
Yeah, or it's
Yeah,
like a
like a-
really
like a
slowed
gunslinger's
down
trance.
decrease, something like that.
Yeah, those perks. It's like, all right, you've got this kill, so it's now active for the next 10 seconds. You
Yeah.
can stack it.
Yeah, like
be cool.
Gunslinger's
Yeah, dude,
Trance,
if you're-
Chain of Woe, that kind of thing. Yeah,
Yeah, if your scory guy is just crushing it and has a triple stack and is charging supers real fast, that could be scary.
yeah.
Yeah, I could see. I think that'd be a pretty good way to handle it. Have the person who has scories on actually have to participate in order to give that super buff to everybody
Yeah.
else. That's have it like a buff.
And we
That's
got a question in the Twitch chat saying about the subject of hurting Scories. Doesn't that ruin PvE? I think ruin is a really strong word. I mean, we killed Crota without memory of Scories. We can do anything.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
talking about?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's not gonna
spooky
ruin it.
Crota.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
The
and
glitched one that follows you places.
and I'll just
We killed
be
him.
I'll be the tryhard, but PvE is just use the thing like you adapt to PvE. It's solving a puzzle,
Yeah.
and once you
It
solve
is.
a puzzle, there's no different way to solve it, and there can be faster ways to solve it, but like it's not going to be destroyed. It's not going to not function.
Exactly.
But I understand why someone would say, "Bones, shut up." The game has to be balanced on equal sides, but at the same time, like I can go into PvE and use whatever
Use
gun, and I'm still gonna
whatever.
beat the level. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't mean to rib anybody, but like that's why I always kind of chuckle, just a mild chuckle when someone's like, "Oh, dude, I got a god roll PVE gun." I'm like, "Oh, did you? What does it do? Shoot bullets?" Like I don't know.
Yeah, no, I feel that, and we're
This
being like
guy.
self-aware of that.
I have
Like,
a-
it's not we're saying.
Yeah, I have a really good
fuck
friend.
PvE, but
I have a really good friend that every time I get like a really bad roll on a Luna or something like that, he's like, "Oh, but it's good for PvE." Gary, if you're watching, mate,
everything. Yeah.
So-
every
the
time it's like, "Oh, well, it's
stick.
good for PvE," and I'm like, "I don't care about a PvE roll. Like this is a Luna. I want a PvP roll. God damn it!"
It's just the thing you say to make someone not like be sad about their
Yeah.
role they just got. Like, oh, dude, it's okay.
great.
That
Oh,
thing's
it's good
gonna
on PvE.
shoot dregs
It's
so well.
It's the Destiny equivalent of you have a great personality.
Yeah,
Oh, that's totally it.
that's it right there.
my PvE guns
Oh,
have great
man.
personality.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, question from Mr. Aries. Any future guests on the podcast planned?
At this moment, we'll be honest, no, but that's not going to be forever. We
Yeah.
My mom will come on the show.
I would love to have Mama Bones on the show. But yeah, I think we
yes.
we
Wonder
didn't
if she would
jump
do that.
we didn't jump on the
Do it on Mother's
guest
Day,
train
Bones. Do
right
it
away.
on Mother's Day.
yeah.
Good idea. We didn't jump on that train right away just because when we kind of made this show, or took over the show, whatever you want to say, whenever we made this show our own.
When we
kind
forced
of
the old crew out mercilessly and took
Yeah.
it over, as you know, as what
Yeah.
happened behind
At
the
a
scenes.
hostile
at
happened.
Knife
takeover.
Yes.
Point. Yeah, we
Yeah.
sent Mega over at Knife Point. Like, get out of here.
Yeah.
We beat them in a non-streamed 5-round
Yeah.
Crucible
It
competition.
was. It,
and
well, it
we
was.
said,
won all
It was
5
5
"Beat
rounds
you,
of
you
elimination.
have to start a new
Yeah.
show. We did
It was
win.
basically a
and,
JV6 stock. They didn't take a single kill.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yes.
you're getting a little
But
bit
that-
of a peek
no one streamed
behind
that.
the curtain of
Uh-huh.
production of how we do this show.
Yeah.
And we wanted to just make sure that we knew what the hell we were doing, and we actually had a good show that we could actually
Yeah.
work with each other and just be
Yeah.
able to entertain you without any interruptions or anything like that. So
Yeah.
I think
and we've
we're getting
learned
to
that that doesn't work, so we're gonna get some
Yeah,
guests.
so
right?
so this is our last.
We need
episode.
star power.
No,
We
but I think
quit.
we're getting pretty into a good groove here. You know what I mean? I think we're doing a damn good job. And at some point in
Yeah.
the future, if we're feeling it, we can have some people on here and we can talk with folks from the community that you know and love. So stay tuned on that.
For sure, man. And it'd be
Definitely
nice to get
with
some-
new stuff coming. You know,
Yeah.
with new things where we can
Yeah.
actually
Absolutely.
trade ideas with guys and girls who know what's going on and who can throw out awesome suggestions and things like that too. It's
Maybe
you
once
don't
we
want to
get
hear like,
closer-
"Hey, did you like the Dawning?"
Yeah. Once we get some actual content on the horizon for Destiny 2, otherwise we're going to be sitting in here
Exactly.
with Ramble and be like, so pancakes
So
or
you,
waffles, buddy. Yeah.
That's a great idea for a guest. Let's get Rambling on. Rambling. I'd
Yeah.
vote for Rambling. Now.
I vote for Rambling.
I love him.
I'm down
man.
for that.
I just informally asked him. I was like, I have no authority to ask you this because it's not a one-man show. I was like, if we ever
Follow
start
up.
doing
Come
the
on,
guesting.
take some charge.
Yeah.
you can. You
I
can
bestow
get a
that
guest on
authority
this show.
upon you.
The real conversation was like, I don't give a fuck what they say.
Yeah.
No,
You're
imagine
coming
if
on
the
the
four
show,
of us
bro.
like
You're coming on
vetoed
the
that,
show.
and then you had to go back to the guest and say like,
Yeah.
"I'm sorry, I
am-
invited
said
you
no.
before I confirmed, and I have to say no now."
Mega said he was
Well.
gonna beat me with a garden
Yeah.
hose.
If you try to invite one more fucking guest on this show, Fallout, I swear to God, when we get to Guardian Con, I'm gonna beat Pope's beard off of you. All right?
Holy hell. Look at that. It looks so cute and cuddly, and he comes out with that. Oh, my God.
I'm
Yeah,
fierce.
that's a great idea. I'd also like to have Holtzman on at some point.
Yeah.
Yes.
I got
Yeah,
some
that'd be
things
fun.
to
Those
say.
guys,
Yeah.
man,
He's a great guy.
absolutely. Not all at once, but like one at a time for
No.
sure.
I don't know how that would happen.
Yeah, imagine that.
A 10-person
10-person podcast. You'd have to hold up a thing when you want to talk.
Yeah. My turn.
know.
My turn, please.
Who's got the
Question
talking
from-
pillow? You know.
From Slaying Mantis. I'm not sure what the answer to this question is. I got to think about it a little more. But he says, what method are you going to use to adhere the beard to your face at Guardian Con?
Glue.
Spirit
Yeah,
gum.
let's not do
Get
glue.
spirit gum. It's what you use to apply
Spirit
fake beards, and then it comes with a remover. It'll be fine.
Are you serious?
Yeah, that's what you. Spirit gum's
Wow,
a thing,
okay.
bro.
Spirit gum. I don't know.
Get
Sounds
your-
like you're in
get
high
your
school and
costume
you-
That
game.
production
You're hanging out with the
background
kids
going
from
on
the
there.
drama circle in high school.
Look,
What is that? Oh, it's
yeah.
spirit gum or
Yeah.
something. I don't know.
I'm sorry that I was a show choir kid and I definitely hung out with the drama kids, so I know what spirit gum is. My
Wonderful.
father-in-law, I guess I can just say, like, directed plays for a living. That's what he does. So it's
Ooh,
just
okay.
shit that I'm used to being around.
Cool. Okay.
right?
Well, yeah. That's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm doing.
Spirit.
There it is.
Bring it on.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Wonderful.
Sorry, I answered that question too easily, too realistically.
No, good
Yeah,
answer.
This is where my expertise
Love
comes
it.
in. This is spirit gum.
Fake beard.
This isn't real, guys. It's been a sham all
He
along.
rips it off.
every night before this podcast goes live, oh God, get on the beard. Just-
Question from Zabamat. Best advice for a man struggling with crucible kills on the exotic sword quest?
Oh, yeah.
Wait for mayhem or sword hilt to
wait for
glory.
mayhem.
I mean, that's pretty much all I can say. Yeah.
Definitely wait for mayhem. That's probably the first thing I could say. It's going to be frustrating because mayhem is mayhem.
Yeah.
So there's going to be supers flying, but you're going to have a better chance to get those heavy kills.
Yeah.
Since heavy drops more often, people you kill will drop heavy. That's just a rough part.
It is.
It's just a rough part you have to push through.
I really just
remember
I
doing
just
that.
sword hilted the entire thing. I was like, I don't care about my KD. It's done. Something's dead. It's buried. You don't have to worry about it dying.
A lost
We don't have
battle.
to
Yes.
exhume
Yeah.
that.
Rip.
So just ran around entire matches with sword hilts, and you know what? It works if you're persistent, I guess.
Yeah.
And then you can get triple kills in sword hilt matches later in your life. That's all I can say.
You must become the master.